Yo, I know y'all probably wondering why I'm in the dark, and it appears to be that I'm sitting in the car in the dark making this video as if I don't have, as if this is my place. Well, to be honest, to be truthful, and I feel like that is what I created this channel for, is to be honest and to be truthful on this Saturday night, soon to be midnight, so it'll turn into Sunday. But behind me is the place where I would lay my head. But why I'm not in there? Why I'm not in there? Because in the Bible, there's a quote, and I can't say it verbatim, but in the Bible, I don't know, I can't recall the chapter or the verse, but it says it is better to sit on a corner and on a roof than it's in a house with a contentious woman. And this is my corner on the roof. I'm here to tell y'all, brothers, and the passport brothers, because this applies much so to them. Women are the same on a basic female level, no matter where you go. At the base level of that woman, women all over the world, I would say, are the same. And this is coming from someone that's traveled the world, dealt with women all over the world, and dealing with one. They are basically, in their essence, the same. And if you think that you're gonna go to Mozambique or the Philippines or the deep jungles in the Amazons and pluck you one, you can still have problems with that woman. Only thing that may be different, well, in most cases is different, is the cultural aspects of each woman, depending on what she grew up in. So let's say you go pluck your woman from the Amazons. You go pluck your woman from the Amazons. You decide to be brave, because that's going to be a brave endeavor to go into the deep of the Amazons and get one of those tribal women, that, indigenous women, right? Well, what women? Women are emotional. They are at times irrational. They play little mind games, manipulative games. They shit test. And that woman in the jungles of the Amazon may do all those things, but her culture, it will be a different situation, right? So I'm pretty sure in that culture, in that culture, the patriarchal, the patriarchal structure is stronger. The men are the leaders, they're the head of the tribe. They decide everything, everything goes through them. And that may be a better situation than dealing with a woman from the West, because we all know here in the West that the culture of women here is independent. I don't need no man. Feminism, um, all this type of stuff. 50, men and women are equal, and all that stuff, right? And we see the results of all these ideologies and how it's messing up the male and female relationships, so much so that the birth rates and all these things are being affected by it. But so you may go pluck your woman from the Amazons, and you'll go pluck your woman from Amazons, and you may have not to deal with all those problems. That's if you keep her in the Amazons, you don't bring her here, but you'll still deal with the things that are the base levels of women, which is the emotionalism, all the stuff that I named. So I realized that a while ago, early on in my travels with the whole um, manosphere black male travel movement, passport bros, I was kind of being sucked in by the gaslighting and being naive, because a lot of cats had an agenda for what they were doing it, why they were doing it, because they wanted to make money. They wanted to bring brothers to a particular country, whatever that country is, by selling them this dream. And so you get all these brothers come over here, and when they get them to come, they may have arrangements with, at that time, we're talking about, earlier in it, they might have arrangements with a hotel. Now we got Airbnb, right? But they may have but at that time, Airbnb was kind of like, still, it was there, but it wasn't like, it was still kind of fresh. Now it's a big deal. Mostly everybody's booking Airbnb when they go anywhere. But at that time, it was there, but it was still fresh. So people were still using hotels. And so this guy, let's say the guy say, hey man, I'm kind of popular on YouTube. I'm kind of popular on Facebook. I got this movement. I can bring about 1,000 guys. I can get 1,000 guys to come here, and I can get them come to your hotel. And all you gotta do is just give me a cut. Give me a cut, or whatever the situation, whatever type of business they will make a deal with, and say, hey, I'll bring them. Just give me a cut. And I fell in that. I was like, listening to that, like, oh man, come over here, so much better. Nothing like the women in the West. They treat you, yeah. And like I said, it may be a better experience. I'm not gonna say it won't, because if you're going to a more traditional type of country where the man and women have different roles, and the man is the head and the leader, it could be a better experience. But you must understand too that underneath that, a woman is a woman. And at at that time, I was like, man, this, listening to individuals like that, I was like, I gotta go over there because, you know, um, these women are so much better. And I was naive, and I realized the fact. The real truth is that they the same, just different cultural things. That's all. So if you want the opportunity to have more of a traditional role, yes, you'll travel somewhere else, and you may get that. You'll get that. That's how because that's how most women are raised. But you still gonna have to deal with that woman element, and that's the most important thing to be aware of. Oh, now they didn't shut the light. I don't know. The street light didn't went off. Y'all really can't see. There's a street light behind me. I guess that means that's a signal saying that it's time to end this video. But yeah, y'all, that's why I sit in this vehicle, man, and sip on my, keeping aware, watching my surroundings. A lot of people still walking around. Damn, this dude jogging at night. He's serious about his. Yeah, he must have got something to get off his mind. That's crazy. If you must, like, I see people jogging this late at night. There's something there. Like, if you ain't training, you ain't a professional athlete or like a boxer, professional fighter, and you jogging at night. I don't know. That's kind of, anyway. So that's why I sit here, and I'm thinking, about that. But I'm just saying, like, man, this is some real. It's some real. Seem to be some real difficult times going on right now, man. There seem to be some real difficult times going on at this time. And I know throughout human history, there have been other difficult times. I know that this ain't the first time in human history that there's been a difficult time. But I would say, I wasn't alive during the Great Depression in 1930s. But that was a difficult time. But studying, or kind of reading up on it, it seems like they, and I may be incorrect, but it seems like they had a kind of hope that, okay, yeah, we're going through this difficult time right now. We're going through this Great Depression, but it seems like they've seen a light at the end of the tunnel. And it seems like this time, this present time, it don't seem like it's going to be any type of light at the end of the tunnel. It seems, with this whole AI thing, man, I'm looking at it. And if y'all been on social media, I know y'all been watching these the Sora 2, which is a part of ChatGPT. I know y'all been watching all these Tupac videos, Michael Jackson and Kobe all together, and it's so goddamn realistic, man. It's scary. And not just those, but a whole bunch of other videos. Just like where now you're watching these and you can't even tell if it's real and not. It's like they're not just, okay, yeah, when you watching something like Tupac and Michael Jackson making a song together, or Tupac and B.I.G. riding in a Tesla together, yeah, you know that's fake. Tupac and Bruce Lee rapping in Cuba. But the videos where it's not a known person, you can't even know it's not real. You cannot even know that it's not real. And that's scary. I mean, I don't know if it's not scary for y'all, but that's scary. Like, can you imagine, man, where it's going? So in these times, you don't see no light at the end of the tunnel in these times, man. It's crazy. It's crazy because that's only the beginning, bro. You know, right now they're working on a way. Can you imagine that it's already here. In my opinion, I think it's already here. I think they probably just like holding back. But picture this. They have human looking, they have human looking entities, but they're robot. They call them humanoids or whatever. And appearance wise, everything, because they able to make it look like that with the silicone or flesh, whatever they put on them, and they able to make it look just like a human being. Now, picture this. It can move, it can walk, it can do everything like a human being, but they put the AI in it. And so when you approach it, if y'all use ChatGPT, which all we doing when we use ChatGPT every day is we giving it data on how to interact with us. So now there's millions of users every day. So now they put this technology in that humanoid robot. And so when it walks up to you, you know, you ask it for directions, or, you know, I know we don't do that nowadays. We got our phones or whatever. We got GPS. We don't have to ask nothing. We got everything in this damn phone. But let's say, you know, in a hypothetical situation, you walk up, hey, do you know where this place is? And it listens and it's able to say, oh yeah, it's right down there. You know, y'all talk to ChatGPT. It sounds like, you know what it sounds like. It sounds like you're talking to a person. It pauses a little bit, but it's only that pause. As more versions get released, it's only going to be less of a pause, right? So you walk up to this thing that you think is a human being, and it says, oh yeah, it's right down this way. All right, thank you. That's where it's going. And that is the end, my friend. Because the elite who's making all this happen, who's investing these billions and billions of dollars into this technology and building these data centers in Memphis, Tennessee, and all these places they building them, they don't mind replacing all of us useless eaters with those. And there's no way we can compete. There's no way we can compete, man. It's like, and I was talking to a brother, and I know this video was supposed to be about women are the same, but I was talking to a brother the other day about this, because I've been kind of feeling like real, just like, I don't know, like, kind of like, my state of mind is like, kind of like, I'm starting not to care no more. You know, when I'm seeing all this stuff that's going on around us, and I'm starting to like feel like kind of careless. in a sense. But so I'm talking to this brother at my job, and I'm like, man, and because we gotta check in. I'm about to end this video. I know y'all probably, man, this guy's joke. We gotta check into this place, and the check-in process was it was so backed up. The process so backed up. The check-in process so long. It's so backed up. Hold on, y'all. Somebody dog barking at me. The check-in process is so backed up. It's so long that I'm like, so I'm in the line with the brother, and I'm like, look, man. I say in 2 years, I say those people in there in the office is doing the check-in, the HR, whatever, that administrative jobs. I said in 2 years, they're gonna be replaced by AI, and I say in 5 years, we gonna be. And he was like, oh man, he got, naturally, he got defensive. He's like, oh man, what we gonna do? They can't do that. What we gonna do? And I'm like, bro, the ones that's making that happen, they don't give a damn about us. I try to tell him, like, do you realize to them we just useless eaters? And he got me, oh, Hitler said that. I said, well, Hitler actually didn't say that. It was a guy recently, Charles Schwab, that said that. But he's like, well, he says, so I had to look it up online. Like, he didn't actually say that, man. He didn't coin that term, but he was so defensive because I understand. Because he couldn't rationalize that these elite that's making these moves are that callous or that cold or that heartless that they would do something and create something that would basically make 95% of the population useless. He couldn't realize that, and I'm like, well, these individuals don't care, and he was like, well, we can't allow that to happen. You think they're gonna? I'm like, bro, it's too late. I said, this technology they have is like, yeah, that should be for another video, man. But I'm just like, I told him, like, bro, we don't have the power. I mean, we'll just be wiped out with the technology that they have access to, with the AI, with the drones. It'll just be a. And he's like, well, what they gonna do? Who gonna buy their stuff? I said, they ain't gonna need no but us. They're gonna have robots serving them. These humanoid robots, they're gonna be serving them. It's going to be them, the elite, and the humanoid robots, and maybe some of their family members. That's all it'll be. And they will be happy with that if they cannot. Let's say they keep about 25% of the human population, but I'm going off somewhere else with this. But like I said, so I'm in this car making this video because behind me is a contentious woman from another country. And I'm telling y'all, and I don't think, and let me say this, because I know some are going to say, well, you shouldn't have brought her here, or you shouldn't have, whatever. Man, this individual came here like this. This isn't happen, oh, because you just arrived here. No, this was in this individual. This was in this individual already. And it's just, in the beginning, the mask, everybody gonna put up a mask. Everybody gonna put up a mask, put up on their best costume of what they want you to think. You gotta be able to look for red flags, man. because you could just and it'll be subtle red flags. If you meet a woman that's a certain age in Southeast Asia and Latin America and she's still single, if I say a certain age, let me say over 30, there's something wrong with that. That's a big red flag, especially in those countries. Because in those countries, if she's a good woman, she gonna be snatched up immediately. She ain't gonna get to. And I'm talking about a woman that's in her 30s, and she says she's never been married, no children, so she's not like a dude. That's a big red flag. Don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. That's telling you something about that woman. That's telling you the guys in her country may not even want her because they know she a problem. But you gotta know and you gotta pay attention to these things. You gotta have game to know these things. Like if you might just think, oh, because if you come from a Western country, this is normal now. This is normal for a woman to be 30 and whatever and still single with her dog and all this stuff, right? So you'll come over with that mindset and you apply it to that culture in that country, but it's not the same. And it's some other, but I'll talk about that in another video, y'all. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.